All right, guys, we talked about tree stands last week and the different kinds of tree stands. What I wanted to talk about today was once you're actually in the tree stand and you're set up, a lot of guys are not really super efficient with this, and let's face it, this is where you really have to execute. This is where it all happens. This is kind of your killing station, if you will. So it's important to start with is kind of the direction that you face your stand. For a right-handed shooter, if you're expecting most of the action to happen off to your left, that's how you want to set the stand up. Doesn't always happen perfect like that, but right-handed, you want to be able to shoot this 180 degrees like this without having to stand up and move if you're a seated hunter. I do about half and half, standing and sitting, probably really more 70 standing, 30% sitting. But back to how you set everything up. I've got everything here that I would hunt with. I film most of my hunts, so I've got a camera arm, so I'm gonna talk through it two different ways. But trying to get as efficient as you possibly can. I've got the camera arm here. I've got my pack right here in case I need to get into anything. I've got my right hand right here where I can grab it, get into anything. And the way I do that is I've got a piece of paracord that's tied to this loop that I keep zipped up in here, and I unzip it, and then you can kind of daisy chain it for what height you want. And there's a bracket on this Lone Wolf camera arm that I hook it to, and then it sits perfectly right there, right in reach where I can get anything I want. Next is my quiver. I'll stand up for this. This is that G5 quiver I talked about in our bow setup. And it has a bracket that screws right into the tree. Quiver comes off the bow, quiver goes right on, and it cams down. Now what I do that's a little bit different, I take this middle arrow out to put in my bow, and I leave the outside arrow unhooked, so it's only hooked by this bottom compression. So that's my second shot arrow, and again, it's right here with my right hand where I can grab it. So if I was to shoot and miss and I needed another one, I'm very quick to get this one out and ready to go again. And it is also kept out of the way of the camera arm, as well as if I'm having to shoot back this way. Moving right along to the bow. Yeah, come over here, Kevin. Pretty simple deal here, just a typical bow hanger. One point to think about is the height that you hang this thing. You don't want to hang it low. A lot of guys, that sit down, they'll hang it where it's really low. Well, what happens then if you stand up and you've got to shoot this way? Your cam's going to hit the bow hanger, and it's going to screw you up. So make sure you've got that high enough. If you're sitting down and you need to grab your bow, you can always reach up and grab it. So I like to hang that thing higher than head height. But then see, you get it, you get your bow off, you draw, you got no problem if you have to shoot back this way. So that tip ought to help you, making sure you get your bow hanger high enough. Another thing that I do on the stand, these are Rangefinder binoculars made by Leica. I don't have binoculars and a rangefinder, they're all built into one, and I like to keep it off to my side so it's completely out of the way. I don't like to have anything on my chest. If I'm running a grunt call, I'll have it on my arm, and my binoculars rangefinder will be on my side here. I don't like anything on my chest that can mess with my shot whatsoever. And so I can just pull this around, glass, range, whatever I need to do, and then again, I just have that tied on with some paracord, so it's really simple. So this is my total tree stand setup once I get in the tree. I am going to break down my pack probably next with everything I keep in my pack, but hopefully that helps you out, gives you some value on how I set things up, and it's worked really well over the years. All right, one thing I forgot to add is if you aren't running a camera arm, a lot of guys will have those screw-in pegs. It's just one more thing to have to screw in. Now, I normally do keep one or two of those in my pack, but to be really efficient, if this camera arm was not here and I just had my pack, what I would do is, this is my quiver holder. I would just wrap this around the back of the quiver holder so it would sit like that. And then the quiver comes over and goes right on, boom, and you're all set. So If you're not running a camera arm, you're running this style quiver. It's a G5 quiver with the tree bracket. It serves both purposes, holds your pack and holds your quiver. There are also some utility hooks on the stand, but when I start using those, it gets everything too low. So I like to have everything up here so it's right hand can grab it. Obviously, if you're left-handed, set everything up on the other side. So there you have it.